Hi everybody! It's Lubna from All Mediterranean Taste channel. Welcome to my channel that always brings you a new taste with a new recipe. Today's recipe is a special sweet treat from Morocco that is a must in all Moroccan tables during the month of Ramadan. Today I'm making chebakia, that is also known as Mkharka. Chebakia is a pastry of Moroccan origin, made of strips of dough rolled to resemble our rolls, deep fried until golden, coated with honey, then sprinkled with roasted sesame seeds. In Morocco, we enjoy the chebakia or the Moroccan Sesame cookies with honey, alongside a bowl of the Moroccan Harira soup. As the chebakia requires time of preparation, today I'm going to share with you how to make a small quantity. So let's start! Step 1. Preparing the ingredients. You will need 1 cup raw almonds. Place them over a baking sheet covered with parchment paper. Place them in the center rack of your preheated oven to 350 degrees Fahrenheit and roast them for 15 minutes. Once it's done, let them cool, then place them in a food processor and pulse them several times until you get a smooth paste. Place the almond paste in a small bowl, then set it aside. Over medium heat, place a large pan. Once it's hot, add 1 cup of unhulled sesame seeds and roast them for a few minutes until they lose their raw taste by stirring constantly. Let them cool a few minutes, then transfer the roasted sesame seeds into a food processor. Pulse them several times until you get a smooth paste and a smooth texture. Place the roasted sesame paste in a small bowl, then reserve. You will need the Arabic gum. Place 4 Arabic gum pebbles in a flat surface or a flat plate. Add 1 tablespoon sugar and grind them with the bottom of a cup until you get a fine powder. Then place it into a small bowl and set it aside. You will need a large pinch of saffron threads and 3/4 cup orange blossom water. Combine them in a small bowl and let the saffron mixture sit for 10 minutes before using it. You will also need 1/2 cup vegetable oil and 1/2 cup unsalted melted butter. Melt the butter over low heat until it turns into a brown color. Now all our ingredients are ready and we can start step 2, making the dough. You will need 500 grams or about 4 cups all-purpose flour, roasted sesame seeds paste, roasted almonds paste, 1.5 tablespoons white vinegar, 1.5 teaspoons ground cinnamon, Arabic gum powder, 1.5 teaspoons ground fennel, 1.5 teaspoons roasted ground anise, 1/4 teaspoon salt, 1.5 teaspoons baking powder, saffron threads and orange blossom water mixture, unsalted melted butter, and vegetable oil. In a large bowl, first sift together the flour, add the salt and the Arabic gum powder. Then start sifting these ingredients. Now add the baking powder, fennel, ground anise, and continue sifting. Add the ground cinnamon. Then use your hands and mix the dry ingredients first until well combined. Add the roasted sesame paste, roasted almond paste, and continue mixing until well incorporated. Now start adding the wet ingredients: vinegar, vegetable oil, and salted melted butter. Drain the saffron threads mixture and continue mixing. You will need for about half cup to 3/4 cup lukewarm water. Add the water little by little while pressing the ingredients with your hands. Continue mixing until you get a rough ball. Then knead the dough by hands for around 8 minutes until the dough becomes softer and more malleable. The dough is ready when you press it with the tip of your finger. It will make a dent, then it will come up again. Place the dough over your work surface, then divide it into 4 equal portions and roll each portion to form a ball. Cover each dough ball with plastic wrap and let them rest for 20 minutes. Once the dough is ready, take one portion of the dough and place it over your work surface. Use a rolling pin and roll the dough. You can flour your work surface if needed. Fold the upper edge and the lower edge toward the center on top of each other to create a long rectangle, then roll it a little bit. Fold the right and the left edges toward the center on top of each other to create a square. Then cover it with plastic wrap. Repeat the same process with the other dough portions and make sure to cover each one with plastic wrap to keep the dough from drying out. Then let them rest for another 20 minutes. Step 3. Shaping the chebakia. You will need a pastry cutter. Place one dough portion over your work surface and start rolling it with a rolling pin. Gently flip the dough to its other surface so it doesn't stick. And continue rolling the dough into a very thin layer. Using the pastry cutter, cut the dough into a large rectangle. Remove the leftover borders and place them into a Ziploc bag to keep them from drying out, to be able to use them at the end. Then, cut the dough into long rectangles that have a width of 8 centimeters. Now take one long rectangle, use the pastry cutter, and make 4 evenly spaced cuts lengthwise. The cut should not cut through the edges of the dough, and you should get 5 equal columns. Each part of the dough should have the size of your palm. To fold the chebakia into a flower shape, take column 1, 3, and 5 using your index finger. With the other hand, pinch together the outer corner of dough. Remove your index finger from the 3 columns and flip columns 2 and 4 to frame the other columns. Place the flour over your work surface, then pinch the outer corners. Let's make another one. Thread the index finger through alternating strips of dough 1, 3, and 5. Pinch the tips with the other hand, then slide down off your index finger and return them inside out and create the beautiful flower. If this is too complicated, you can shape the dough into a different flower by using 6 columns instead of 5. Cut the dough and make 5 evenly spaced cuts lengthwise. Now you have 6 columns. Fold each 2 columns on top of the other 2 columns. Use your index finger and separate them into 3 columns on each side. Place it over your work surface and pinch the outer corners by pushing them toward the center. Then you will get a flower shape. Let's make another one. Both flower shapes look beautiful. Use one of them and shape your Chebakia flower. Once you are done all the dough, let the shaped Chebakia rest and dry for 2 hours before cooking it over a baking sheet or a large tray. Step 4. Cooking the Chebakia. Over low heat, place a deep pan and warm 2 cups good quality honey. Grind some Arabic gums, pebbles, and sugar with the bottom of a cup until you get a fine powder. Then add it to the honey. Add 1.5 tablespoons orange blossom water. Mix these ingredients together until the honey is just warm. Now place a large deep pan over medium-high heat with plenty of vegetable oil. Once the oil is hot, place the Chebakia cookies in the oil. Then reduce the heat to medium. Fry the Chebakia cookies until they become golden brown. Make sure to fry them over medium heat. If the oil is too hot, the Chebakia will color quickly, but the inside will not be cooked. Once they get this light, beautiful golden color, remove them from the oil and place them directly into the warm honey. Once you place the Chebakia cookies into the honey, use a large spoon and start pouring the honey over them. Do not push the Chebakia cookies down or they will break as they are very soft. Let the Chebakia cookies absorb the honey for 2 hours. Try to use a good quality of honey, as it is a very important ingredient. Now remove the Chebakia cookies from the honey and transfer them into a strainer to remove any excess honey. Step 5. Serving the Chebakia. Once the Chebakia is drained, place them over your serving plate and sprinkle each layer with toasted sesame seeds on top. To store the Chebakia, let it cool completely. Then place it in an airtight container. They will keep at room temperature for up to 1 month and will freeze well for up to 5 months. Serve the Chebakia alongside with the Moroccan Harira soup. You can also serve it with a cup of tea or coffee. These sweet honey cookies are chewy, soft, tender in the inside and have a crunchy sesame seeds texture in the outside. It's so yummy. Bon appetit! Thank you for joining me today in my kitchen, and I hope you like my Chebakia recipe. Share it with all your friends and family. You will find all the ingredients in the description box down below with the links for my Facebook and Instagram. And before you leave, don't forget to click the little circle on the right to subscribe to our channel and click the little bell to get notifications every time we post a new video. And check out my other recipes on the left. I see you in our next video with new taste and a new recipe. Bye!